Good morning, welcome back to another video. Today I am bringing you with me on my day on the farm. So our first job of the day is to feed our cows. They are absolutely still inside. The weather is as bad, if not worse, than last week. One of the things we do every day, maybe every other day if there's not a lot of silage left, is clean out all of the old silage, give that to the heifers, the beef animals, and give the cows fresh silage. On the right side is our second cut. The cows are all loving eating that. And you can see on the left side here, they were given about a third cut and they have not enjoyed eating it, so they've just left it. So we're going to push this door open and go hook the scoop on, clean the back of this yard a bit, and then push all of this silage out with the scoop against that wall and give it to the beef and the heifers. I have this idea in my head that cleaning the silage out every day and giving fresh silage to the most important animals every day encourages intakes. I think it does, but it is a bit of a pain. I don't have enough animals to feed all of this silage to, so I'm only going to clean out this side today. The other side, the cows are going to have to eat it. So screw your increased feed intake. They're being made to eat it. It's one of the problems, I will admit, with not having a feed wagon is when you're feeding two different silages, even if they both sample pretty good, there will be one which is better. And the cows will just refuse to eat the one they don't like if they know they have the better one further down the feed passage, further down the feed barrier, and then they just completely ignore the silage that they don't like. So it's an unusual issue. Usually it's the vast majority of silage is one cut, and we can balance whatever is a different cut and feed that to the beef or the heifers. But at the minute, we're about 50-50 second cut and third cut, so sometimes the cows end up with some third cut and they don't even touch it. It's a waste of time giving it to them. But as you will see now this morning, everything will be fed with this old silage, so then I won't be able to use the third cut for anything but the cows. You can see the issue. I'm clearly frustrated more than I should be by this. It is what it is. Right, let's get the grab back on and get the cows fed. So what has changed in a week since our last video? Well, unfortunately the weather has not changed. It is wetter now than it was last week. The last 36 hours we have had a heck of a lot of rain, and it is probably the number one concern for every farmer in the country right now is when is the weather ever going to dry up. We got our 25 heifers sold in Oma Mart on Monday, and they done better than I expected, to be honest. Maybe I was just being too pessimistic, but I was happy with the price I got. Saying that, we still lost quite a lot of money on them because the price of stock at the minute is just all over the place. You get a good price for calves and yet a very bad price for bull and heifers and calved heifers. So I don't know, we had to sell them. We couldn't sell them as calves because we had TB. So I'm glad they're gone. I'm glad that problem has been moved on and our stock numbers are back around what they should be. I also ordered the first fertilizer of the year. I have quite a lot of urea here from last year, but nothing else. So I ordered 8 tons of muriate of potash. I had priced CAN or Axan, but 2 days ago I decided against buying it because the price is just so out of line with urea. It makes no sense. However, I think that was a mistake. I think I'm going to have to order some Axan today. Reason being, if the weather turns dry and then there is no further rain forecast, which I know is hard to believe at the minute, but that could happen, I can't go out with my urea So I need an alternative product here so I can get nitrogen onto the grass. Anyway, I'm going to finish feeding the cows. This job's taking way longer because I'm chatting to you. So I'll catch up with you after breakfast. So this morning we finished up milk recording, and unfortunately that means we now have the worst job of the entire month to do, which is to take all the bottles off the milk lines. There's 40 of these things attached, and to get them taken off you have to undo this screw, pull out 2 pipes, put this little clip in and screw it all back together. So it doesn't take long, it's just a really annoying job. I could just leave Ellie to do the whole lot of them, but I'm not that mean, so I'll do one side and she can do the other. Throw them into that. Next up on our to-do list this morning is to fill the foot bath. One of the problems with foot bathing is that this stuff is now £70 a bag. £70 a bag. So if anyone knows somewhere to buy this cheap, I'm happy to buy a ton of it at a time. Please let me know, because it used to be £40 like 2 or 3 years ago, and now it's 70. Something doesn't add up. I actually think most of the copper sulfate might come from Russia. So I'm happy to buy Russian copper sulfate if you can get it for me cheap. Next job for the day is going to be pretty miserable because of the weather, but it will be made easier because of the weather, and that is to wash the case tractor. It was gleaming when you seen it last week. It has got plastered over the last few days. It was covered in slurry, all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to give it a good wash this morning again. I have the tractor set up to get a good video angle. This is sort of ridiculous things I do now. I'm going to go find a sponge, go get a coat, and let's go get this tractor washed and get it shiny again. Right, let's go. Very nice. Back to nice and shiny. I do need a new set of tyres for this tractor. So that's going to do this video for this morning, but I will be back after lunch. We are going to get 3 extension pipes for the 8S to take power beyond to the front linkage. The reason we're doing that is that I got a fertilizer sower on demo for a couple of months from Farmhand, and the plan is to mount it to the front of the 8S so I can sow 2 fertilizers at once. So I want to get that all set up, all mounted, all checked and all working today, because the weather means there's not much else to do, so that when the weather does turn, I know it's all ready to go, it's all working, everything's set up. So I imagine I've probably used that as the thumbnail for this video. That's coming up after lunch. So the importer of Amazon into Ireland, Farmhand, reached out and offered that if I wanted to demo one of their pretty advanced fertilizer sowers for a couple of months, they'd be happy to give me one. To which of course I said, absolutely, I would love to. We have used Amazon sowers here in this farm as long as I can remember. I think the first one we got was like the early 2000s. So I did not buy this yet. I might buy it. Don't tell my dad, he'll go mental. But I am already pretty impressed with it, to be honest. But we were given this by Farmhand to demo for a few months. That's how I ended up with it. I'll be honest, I wouldn't necessarily have been interested because of the risk of me ending up buying it whenever I don't necessarily need it. But they agreed that they would get me a hydro version. So that is a hydraulic fertilizer sower. And the reason why I wanted to make sure it was a hydraulic fertilizer sower is I have wanted to mount a fertilizer sower to the front of my tractor for years. I have searched online, I have tried to find one to buy, I've never been able to do it. And the reason why I want to try one on the front is so that I can sow 2 types of fertilizer at the same time. So I'll be able to sow urea with my current fertilizer sower in the back, and I'll be able to put half a ton of muriate of potash into the front sower and sow it at the same time. This is a real genuine issue, a real genuine problem that I have to sow muriate, diammonium phosphate or urea, and sometimes between cuts of silage I have to go on 3 times with fertilizer. So why do I sow multiple times? Why not just make my life easy and buy a compound or a blend? Well, blends really aren't an option if you're sowing at 24 meters. I learned the hard way that if you try to sow a blend at a wide distance, it will essentially separate out as you sow it. Your nitrogen will reach the 24 meters, but your P and K won't, especially your K, and you'll end up with big dark green bands down your field, and it will cost you a lot of money in grass yield. The reason I don't use a compound is they are added value products for the fertilizer manufacturers and for the people who sell fertilizer. That's what they want to sell you, and it costs you a lot of money. To give you an idea of how much it costs, I bought muriate of potash this week. I'm pretty sure it was $4.25. If I'm wrong on that, it's because I can't remember. But it worked out at something like 70p a kilogram of K. If I was to buy that in a compound, I promise you it'd be well over £1. Sometimes it has been twice the price to buy your P and K in a compound versus buying it as straights. Now, not always. Sometimes the price is actually not that far apart. Like last year, for example, a compound was nearly better value than buying the straights. But at the minute, straights are where it is cheap. Straights are what you want to do. This will allow me to take advantage of the cheaper fertilizers by buying those straights with no extra time or no extra cost, because I haven't had to pay for this, remember. Anyway, let's get this hooked off the back. Let's get it in the front. Check everything fits, check it's going to work, see what it looks like from inside the tractor. That's what I'm most excited about. And then tomorrow, whenever I get the pipes, it'll be a straightforward job just to plug them in, ready to go, get it all tested, get the back sower hooked on as well. Just see if it all works out like I think it will. I'm going to set you all there. Hopefully you'll enjoy seeing this. Oh my goodness, these link arms are so heavy. Fallen at the first hurdle. Can't even kick it, it's already went through. What the heck? Oh my days. They need oil. Oh, freak. This is why you don't do stuff when you're in a rush. Yeah, that needs oil. Where am I going to get oil? Right, shall we go get some oil? Be right back. See if he grabs my camera. Right, I got some grease for the pins. Big improvement. Right, let's get this hooked off and then hooked on. I'm scared this sore is going to be massive on the front. I'm not sure. I don't think it will be. Only one way to find out. Oh, that sore is close to the back window. Oh, that's going to be the next thing. Someone's going to lift the sore of the back window open and smash it. Oh. Yeah, that'll hit the back window. Right, okay. Basically, don't let anyone drive this apart from me. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I think we should be fine on the wheels. Plenty of slack everywhere, so don't think it'll cause any issues. Farmhand actually fitted isobus connectors to this tractor just so I could do this demo because the tractor didn't have isobus. So they really put the work in to make this happen. And I very much appreciate it. Now, how do I get this cap on? Have they changed the fittings? No, they haven't. That is a beast. Even got a sleeve. My goodness. Now, we've hit our first issue. No, we haven't. Aha. I'm the issue. I think I'll need to turn the tractor off. Yeah, 1 second. I'm not looking forward to how much I had to pay to get hydraulic fittings to take power beyond to the front of this tractor. It could easily be a couple of hundred, it will be a couple of £100. I just hope it's not £1,000. Right, that's it. Oh, it even has a little catch thing to hold the pipes. That's so nice. Very good. Anyway, sorry, getting distracted. That's ready to be hooked off. I will let it down, get it hooked off the back and see if it can be hooked onto the front. Because you have to remember, the front link arms can't move. So this has to be the spacing for front mounting for it to even have a chance of working. This is the stuff I need to find out today. See if I end up liking this sore too much. I'm never accepting a demo of anything ever again. Because it just spoils you, and I'm not good with saying no to things. Okay, let's get this hooked off and get hooked in the front. Of all the things I've done in my life, I do feel like this is the stupidest, but yet also the most brilliant. Very paranoid that I might wreck something, so I'm being extra careful. I don't think it'll be that big in the front. I mean, everyone else has front mowers, and surely front mowers are way bigger than a front sower. My dad's gonna think I'm a total moron when I put this on the front of the tractor. I'm just too curious not to do this today, okay? I'm just too curious. Right, enable my hydraulics. Figure out what button does what to put the front linkage down. Please, please, please line up with the linkage balls. Please. Oh dear, it's still on wheels. I think it's actually lined up. Amazing, it's lined up. Right, let's go put the top link on and hook it on. And you know what? It's actually not that big at all. It's actually going to be fine. Happy days! Okay, I have a very feebly small top link by the looks of it, but I'm never going to put much in this sower. This is for like small quantities that need to be applied at the same time as nitrogen. And you could use it so often, like muriate of potash, diammonium phosphate, even stuff like ammonium sulfate, which is way higher in sulfur, but it's a way cheaper way to buy sulfur than paying for like Axan normally. At the minute Axan's actually good value, but that's not normal. And I will absolutely be working out the economics of this once I'm finished with the season. If I have it to the end of the year, I have no idea when I'll have to go back. Okay, it's quite big. It's not small when it's mounted on the front. I mean, it's definitely manageable, like no problem. But it is quite high. Let's see what it looks like when I put it down a bit. If I can remember the controls, I've locked out my hydraulics. Okay, so you'd be fine to drive like that. That's no problem at all. I mean, at this point, we have to hook the back sower on. I mean, we have to. Even just to take a photo, we have to. You know what? Totally doable. Totally manageable. Like it doesn't even feel bulky. Like compared to a front mower, it's 100% significantly easier to work with. I'm genuinely very pleased with that outcome. Like, I don't know if I'm getting it across, but like, it genuinely does not feel like there's a giant fertilizer sower sticking out the front of your tractor. Interesting. I do need to be very careful that I don't hit something. It'll only ever be me driving this. We're gonna hook the back sower on. It is a total waste of my time, but if Tom Pemberton has taught me anything, the one thing that matters for YouTube is a thumbnail. And this will make a great thumbnail. I cannot wait to actually get to use this and sow 2 types of fertilizer at the same time. This is gonna be the best thing I've ever done. Right, let's get a thumbnail. It's nearly milking time, so I've got to hurry up. And you can kind of see like a little bit of the remnants of the snow, but I promise you there was a lot of snow. It's just all gone now. See what this looks like from the outside for the first time. Oh, it does look good. It looks efficient. And my back sower, my sower, that one, looks so minuscule. Seriously, why is it so small? I don't get it. That's a 3-ton sower, I think. Could have swore the guy sold it to me as a 3-ton sower. And that's only a 3.2? I don't know. Right, I'm getting a thumbnail. Now I understand that a lot of people are going to think that this is totally ridiculous, an incredibly stupid idea, and that the reason I've mounted the sower in the front is just for a good thumbnail and some great TikToks. And that is absolutely a big part of the consideration for why I want to do this year, is it will genuinely make me some money, okay? Being honest. However, I have wanted to get a front-mounted sower for several years. It was never meant to be an impressive new front-mount sower. I was looking for an old, cheap second-hand one. And the issue was I could never find one. They're very rare, and they're rare for a reason. Not many people sow with a front sower, obviously, because it's stupid. It's not stupid, that was a joke. So when I was given the opportunity to test my theory that this is a viable option and a good option that will save me money, of course I jumped at the chance to get to try this. I'm hoping that it stays dry from now until Tuesday and I can go and get everything sewed on Tuesday. Now, 99.9% sure it will not be involving a front sewer. This setup will probably not be used until after the first cut of silage. I will probably have a new fertilizer sewer on the back like a normal seeing person to sew on Tuesday, simply because ground conditions are never going to be dry enough to mess about with this, and I just want to get my silage ground sewed. This video has to be edited and finalised and uploaded tonight because I'm away tomorrow night. I'm busy on Saturday morning, I'm busy all day tomorrow, so tonight is the last chance I'll have to edit this and upload it. So unfortunately, you're not going to get to see me plumb in the pipes, connect it all up and actually run the sewer, but it should be a fairly straightforward process. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Again, farmhand went above and beyond and done this amazingly neat job of mounting isobus to the front of the 8S. Now my plan was to then attach the 3 hydraulic pipes for Power Beyond on a small bracket which screws into these fittings, and then run the pipes down this side and in under here and take them out along this run here, through the cab somewhere, or potentially just round the side of the tractor if I plan to detach them every time I'm finished with it, which I think is probably my most likely option at this point, but we'll figure that out tomorrow. And then that allows me to connect in my isobus, to connect in my sense line, my pressure line, and my return line for the sewer on the front. It actually makes the 8S, which is not a small tractor, look kind of small. Very strange. So that's going to be it for this week. Hope you enjoyed that video. I know it was a bit random, but that's what I've got up to today. My day has been a bit random. I am very much looking forward to seeing this in the field. Don't worry, it'll appear in another 1 or 2 thumbnails over the next few months, I can promise you that. But thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, hit subscribe if you really enjoyed this. And if you have any questions, criticisms, abuse for being so dumb to try this and think it's a good idea, stick it down in the comments. Thanks very much for watching.